Everybody seeks happiness, progress, and to earn money in order to have a better life, not only for themselves, but also for their families. Many economic experts warn that the rich are getting richer, increasing the inequality between rich and poor. In fact, the richest 1% have as much wealth as the rest of the world altogether. But what makes these people rich? Did you know that a rich person thinks, feels, and acts differently than a person with a different mindset? What I mean is they have a different attitude about money, aspirations, and purposes in life. The goal of this video is for you to clearly define which are your attitudes and to try to identify if you are making the right moves in order to change your habits or attitudes and to direct your finances. Before starting, make sure to subscribe and to activate the bell and notifications so YouTube notifies you every time we upload a video. You can also write us a message saying, "I subscribed," and we will make sure to answer you. As promised, these are the main discrepancies between the mindsets of rich and poor people. Number 1. Rich people don't show off their wealth. Dressing trendy, wearing the most expensive items, designer sneakers, or trying to call attention through luxury items can be some of the signs that indicate a poor mindset. Usually rich people are discreet. Take Mark Zuckerberg, for example, or Bill Gates. Have you seen them wearing gold chains, designer clothes, or luxury cars? People like them understand that it is not a good investment to follow trends, and that they don't need to prove anything to other people, but prefer to acquire those same quality goods for a much lower price than what high-fashioned items would cost. At the end of the day, a humble car serves the same purpose as a luxury car, which is to move someone somewhere else. In addition, luxury cars pay higher taxes, a higher insurance, which is a poor investment. Rich people understand that they do not have anything to prove, but instead, poor mindset people buy the latest fashion, even if it is reflected in their future debt, since these expenses represent a large part of their salary, which leads them to live with just enough money to survive. Number 2. Rich people create several sources of income. Living from a single source of income, such as a single salary, implies a great risk. You may be thinking why this happens. Let's have a look at this example. Juan works in a job that he's been doing for years, and suddenly, unexpectedly, he was fired due to a company crisis, so his income disappeared, on which not only he depends, but also his family. At the same time, he has several fixed costs he must pay monthly as the rent, house services, kids, school, and of course, basic needs like food. These are expenses that must be covered because they cannot be postponed. Now that his only income is gone, Juan is in trouble. The most viable solution to survive seems to be to request a loan from a bank. But this will get him in greater debt in the coming months as he will not be able to pay the quotas of that loan. This is Juan's situation. Rich people understand this, and they safeguard their own safety by investing their money in several sectors such as real estate or creating various businesses to generate the peace of mind that if one of these sources of income is not successful, they have several other financial supports. So, their wallets will not be greatly affected even in times of crisis. Since in times of economic downturn, as many businesses are affected, there are also others that are benefited. Number 3, rich people make their money work for them. There's a strong tendency to think that the harder someone works, the higher their income will be, and nothing could be further from the truth. If that were the case, the world would be full of millionaires. Rich people work smartly and make their money work for them. Now you may be asking, how do I do that? The rich usually invest their money in stocks or real estate, which they rent out to obtain monthly income, or they hire builders to remodel and sell at a profit. They even buy people's time by contracting their services to carry out certain tasks that they do not know how to do or simply do not have the time to carry out. This is how they are able to create great businesses and make them grow faster. So in short, the rich people reinvest their profit instead of saving it, while people who often believe that holding their money in a bank can help them in the future do not have in mind that the money held up in their accounts does not produce any income, and even worse, could be devalued due to inflation. Number 4, rich people think big and poor people think small. For successful people, problems and adversities are not obstacles to achieve their goals. Matters like age, political situations, family, or any limitation does not provide them an excuse to avoid achieving their dreams. In fact, rich people do not make excuses. On the contrary, they conceive of these obstacles as a way to show they are capable of achieving what they deserve. Since if it were too easy, everyone would make it. On the other hand, poor mindsets see life through the eyes of scarcity and express themselves by repeating phrases such as, "I work hard, but things are not working out for me. It's very difficult. It is not for me. My parents are to blame for my failures. The government does not help us," and the list could go on endlessly. For their part, rich people know that if they do not take charge of their lives, no one will. And that's why they act and are active and persevere. They do not stay comfortable in the position of finding people to blame for their problems. In that way, they state thoughts and strategies to achieve their dreams and goals. Number 5. Rich people acquire assets. Poor people acquire liabilities. Before establishing the difference between both points of view, it is necessary to clarify what each term means. What do we mean by assets and liabilities? We can define assets as all those things that you have brought and that bear fruit, whether it is tangible goods or money. As, for example, shares in a company, a published book for sale, an apartment for rent. It is, in other words, things that generate profitability over time. Profits, in short. On the other hand, the liabilities are those things that generate expenses such as a car, which does not generate income, but rather the opposite, since we must pay for insurance, fuel, and send the car to a workshop once in a while for maintenance. Although we might admit that passive purchases are necessary at some point, such as a car, get to work. Rich people deliberately choose to accumulate assets to a greater extent in order to obtain an economic return, and their investment makes sense. In your case, what is it that you acquire to a greater extent? Assets or liabilities? You can leave your answer in the comments below. Number 6. Rich people know how to manage their finances. Do not waste, keep track of your money. Make a budget of monthly consumption and spend less than what you make. These are the key pillars of good management, and rich people carry out these procedures successfully since they have incorporated into their system of financial habits how credit resources should be managed. Unlike the poor who spend money deliberately, do not keep track of their income and much less of their expenses. Keeping track of what we spend money on is extremely useful to understanding what our money is being spent on in order to correct those habits. In fact, many people decide to use credit cards, which psychologically motivate people to spend more. And once they receive the credit card bill, they don't know how to pay it. Given this situation, it's extremely important to keep a record of our finances. To do it, you can write down which are your exact daily expenses to understand what you spend the most on, whether it is food, clothes, leisure, or treats. In this way, you will be able to analyze how much money you are spending and fix it. Number 7. Rich people see opportunities. Poor people see obstacles. Don't let fear and adversity stop you. What you think becomes a reality. In fact, negative thoughts are much more powerful than positive ones, so it's important to keep the prior ones away. If you have positive thoughts, you will attract opportunities, while thinking negatively, you will bring up problems and obstacles. Poor people usually focus on the possible obstacles that may arise with new beginnings, as well as the losses and risks that they will have to face, while rich people see opportunities for growth and success in everything they do. Their thinking is, it will be a success because I will make it one. They assume the responsibility and do everything within their power to achieve their goal and do not rest until they get the results they want. Number 8. Rich people surround themselves with others who are focused on success. This is a common mistake and, believe it or not, has a great impact on your financial health. Your friend may not be rich yet, but his or her mindset will tell you where their focus is. If it is someone who is constantly complaining about everything, who has no aspirations and settles with very little, or someone who is motivated to achieve great things and motivates you to take the first step. Rich people surround themselves with others who contribute favorable thoughts with no limits when it comes to their imagination, and who, instead of criticizing a new business, Propose better ideas to contribute to its success, enhancing the system or the final product. An individual with a poor mindset will explain every reason why your product cannot be done and won't stop trying to convince you to give up. You must stay away from these people because even though they probably want what's best for you, they do not have the required perspective to see success. In contrast, interacting with visionary, enterprising, successful people will help you communicate your path and find opportunities for growth. They will also suggest how to modify certain habits in order to achieve your goals. Instead of telling you that something cannot be done for this purpose, it's important to learn to detect how people around you act in order to evaluate whether or not you should share your goals or idea. When we say rich people surround themselves with others who are focused on success, we are referring to those who do not waste time watching TV and their social circles on the same page as them, sharing similar interests. There were 8 discrepancies between rich and poor. Let us know what you think. And if you have a suggestion, please express it in the comment section. We will be pleased to read it, and don't forget to share this video with your friends to help them with their financial education. These are some videos that you also might be interested in if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like it, subscribe, and activate the notification so YouTube notifies you every time we upload new content. See you in the next video.